the Feds froze interest rates. What that mean, and the hint from experts and analysts is that that's probably going to be what we should expect. This For those of us, let me just give you a context of why stuff like this is important. So the Fed meets about 8 times a year, and sometimes they increase interest rates, they reduce it, sometimes they freeze it, and that's very important because it has a ripple effect in across the global sector in the marketplace. So it's important that we follow news like that. So, with the tariffs, with everything going on, a lot of people are in panic mode, right? People are wondering that in America, the markets have been down significantly. Some have been down. You look at the S&P, look at Tesla stock has been down like 50% since the height of December. Where do you see the African economy or Nigeria economy? Where do you see things going in the next 12 months, particularly this year, the rest of this year? Where do you see things going?
So, very, very good question. But, the dimension that I am going to take you will probably surprise you. But a bit of context. I like the way you have, provided context about the American economy. In Nigeria, interestingly, I was reviewing, just doing like a bit of analysis of, the U.S. economy, the Nigerian economy, and just examining some asset classes to see their performance. I
Mm,
interacted with some information, I think yesterday or earlier today, and it was like a summary of if I had 100,000 naira at the beginning of the year, and I invested in this asset, what would it be now? And I looked at it, right at the top of all of those lists. Some key Nigerian stocks performed well. So whilst the US market experienced a major hit, because on that list, some global assets were down, down on that list. But in the earlier part of the list, quite a number of, Nigerian stocks did really well. And then you have fixed income, treasury bills doing well as well. Then you have cash and cash equivalents, like money market mutual funds. And then you have the global stocks at the lower end of the stuff, meaning that yes, the US market was badly hit, but then the Nigerian market did not even as much feel that market crash. So the dynamics all over the world are different. The dynamics of personal finance, of the stock market and everything. But because I know that we have a global audience, this is what I personally like to say. I teach the 4 types of economies that exist. And the reason I do that is because he helps me to realize that there are some things outside of my control when it comes to personal finances. So let me quickly mention those 4 economies: your personal economy, the national economy of the country that you reside in, the
mhm.
global economy, what is happening around the world, and of course, the spiritual economy. Now, whilst I am aware of the 3 other economies apart from my personal economy, I realize that most times I do not have control over those things. I'm still going to come back to your question, where do I see the Nigerian economy? But I quickly want to provide a context that it's very, very okay to familiarize yourself and to interact with what is happening across all 4 economies. Like, because I am a global investor, I am keeping my eye on the US economy because I have quite an intense amount of uh, money in that market. So when I see the crash, I have looked at my portfolio twice this week. I'm like, okay, dry bones, we rise again. But so I keep my eye on it. But ultimately, as a world coach and as a personal finance enthusiast, I gather information, but I sort of distance myself from it so that facts are frozen the rates, the market has crashed. It's not getting to me because beyond all of those economies, my personal economy is about what I have control over. How much money can I make? Listen, in my personal economy, I can make money within a period of time that my portfolio cannot make for me. I can consult for someone, I can coach and make 7 digits, 8 digits, an amount that my stock portfolio cannot give me even in 2 years.